What's clear is that you get the biggest bang for buck by actually having the government do something. The government goes out there and builds a second rail tunnel under the Hudson River, which is if we don't get that, then I'm really depressed about the whole thing. Then you have directly employed a large number of people. You have directly bought the concrete and the reinforcing iron. You've directly created demand, and so every dollar that shows up as a dollar of federal debt is actually going to create a dollar's worth of economic activity, and probably more, because then people will have more money and they'll spend more. And most of the estimates say that a dollar spent by the government, a dollar actually spent on infrastructure or some other form of government direct spending, generates at least $1.50 of GDP. So that's the thing that's most effective. And so the question is, why not have the whole package consist of infrastructure spending? And the answer is that is mostly a question of timing. If you want to do something that's a completely blue sky project, something that you weren't even thinking about before, it's going to take you years to figure it out, to draw up the plans, to get the permits, to actually begin the project. Big infrastructure. Well, I used to live in Boston, so the big dig, right, can go on forever.
That was a big success.
Right. Well, leave aside the efficiency question, just about the time it takes to get them going. So now there's fair number of projects that are on the books, or they were going to start in 2 years or 3 years, and you can move up the timing. So this is the stuff that people call shovel ready. And that's clearly, you want to do every shovel-ready project that makes even a bit of sense right now. But there is a limited supply of those. So you can't have the whole stimulus consist of that. The second thing you can do is you can provide aid to state and local governments, which are, unlike the federal government, have to balance their budgets year by year. And they are actually slashing spending. And one very quick way to increase spending is to prevent it from being cut. So that's the second thing you can do. Third thing you can do is you can...
And that aid is mostly in the form of what? Medicaid grants?
It's a bunch of things. It's complex. Medicaid, education, and so on. But a lot of it, what it really ends up doing is means that the state...
can spend money on other things.
State governments that are in extreme cash crunch will not have to do it. I mean, the state of California is, I think, just put a hold on all construction projects right now. That's crazy. And if you can give them a slug of cash, they can at least close some things in before the rain gets in, right? I mean, it's that crazy. That's good stuff. Then you get into the realm of actually giving people money as opposed to purchasing goods and services. And that's a little more questionable, aside from, because it's not clear that they will spend that money. They might use it to put in their savings account to pay off credit card debt. But to the extent you can target that on people who are in distress, the unemployed, people who are losing health insurance, that's a pretty effective form of stimulus. Probably not as good as not as much bang for the buck as building bridges, but quicker. And then the last thing is cutting people's taxes. And that can be done fast, but there's a high likelihood that people won't spend the money. So aside from everything else.
The first one would be rebates? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, it's more... You mean the tax cuts? Or
you're saying getting money to people in distress.
Well, no, we are talking about extended and expanded unemployment benefits, more food stamps, help for people to maintain COBRA payments on their...
Real, actual, instantaneous benefit.
Yeah. So all that stuff is good. So when I look at this stimulus plan, about 2/3 of it is clearly good stuff. I don't have a problem with it. Basically, the 2/3 that's spending. 1/3 is tax cuts. Of that, half is the Obama making work pay thing, which is basically you get a tax credit against part of your payroll tax payments, which is not one of my favorite policies, but since it was a campaign promise, I'm willing to let it go. Then the rest is business tax cuts, which all look like they're extremely ineffective. They all look like things that will have no impact on investment spending. It's just money down the drain.